Hey everybody, me again. Just thought I'd show you a little something I found quite useful today. Obviously I'm going to be bringing some power down on this wall for a new double socket. Now I was thinking the best way to get the power over there, I could have tapped into that little box, but that was all really tight in there, so I could barely open it up, so that looked like it would be a bit tricky to do it that way. So I've lifted the floorboards upstairs as best I could. Now, I couldn't get to the exact spot I wanted, but with the use of this little pen, I managed to figure out what the wires were, because I couldn't actually see directly where to go through there, as I'll show you why. So that little blow heater is actually part of the central heating system. It does have the hot water going through it. When it reaches the water, gets to a certain temperature, the fan kicks in and starts blowing. So these little pens really can be quite useful. I've used this a few times and so I lifted the floorboard here. The bit I really wanted to get was a bit further along, sort of roughly about where the bathroom floor starts, but because I boarded that floor, then I can't actually lift that floorboard, and there's a joist just past that wire, so I couldn't see past it. And I managed to lever this board up a bit and I can see where the wires are, where them wires go through the ceiling is roughly in line with that. But as you can see, I've got the joist in the way, so I couldn't see properly. Bit of light on the scene. So I could see these wires, but obviously I didn't know exactly what the wires were. I could have a guess at it, but with the use of that little pen it was quite handy. So I've got two cables here of 2.5, so I was thinking that's probably the part of the ring main. I'm thinking that's power going to that blower heater, and then it may be going back to the fuse box if it had been the ring main. And I've also got a little light wire down here. So if you didn't know any better, you might just decide to cut either one of them wires, thinking they're both permanently live, and that would give me power for the actual socket. But with the use of this little pen, I actually managed to figure out that that first wire is permanent live, and the other 2.5 cable is actually the feed for that blow heater. So that one's actually only live, that one's actually only live when the central heating is turned on. So you could accidentally have cut that and then not actually have had any power from it. So with the use of this little tool, it's been very easy to figure that out. And then I had this other lighting wire down here, which again I wasn't 100% sure where that was for, but again with the use of the pen I figured out that that's actually the switch live wire to my outhouse light, and that permanent wire is actually also on the boiler circuit. So if I turn the breaker switch off for my boiler, that kills that, and that's also what the other socket in the kitchen has been wired into. I had that done when the boiler was being installed. So for the sake of the little pens, so this was a lap one. This was Screwfix. I think this was under £5, and I have actually found it to be useful on numerous occasions, especially when I was up in the loft tracing various wires, or if you just want to test something definitely dead before you turn the breaker off. You just want a quick test that your socket is actually powered down, then for £5 they really are something that's worth you buying. Something you don't use very often, but obviously a very important item to have when you are messing with electrics. So what I'm planning on doing, I'm thinking here now, so I've got a big joist there, and without cutting this board up, I could cut it and put a little brace across it like they've done here. But looking at where it's positioned now, I think I've actually cut through that wire. I'm thinking put a our junction box in there, and then I'll just run an extra cable off. I'll drill a little hole through this joist, and I reckon if I come through about here I'll be just about where I actually want to be, so that shouldn't actually be too hard to do. So I was picturing maybe having to rip up quite a few floorboards to get a power supply, so I'm quite happy now. But so the main thing I was showing you was just these, because that was very easy. Just looking at them wires, you could have a guess at what they are, but you wouldn't know for certain. But for the sake of this thing, less than £5, in a matter of a few minutes, I figured out what wires were what by turning the switches on and off and turning the boiler on and off. So definitely something you might want to pick up at some point. Alright, that's it from me. Catch you later.